So in the chat at the moment, we've attracted some national,
Yay!
national cheer squad,
Welcome.
saying that this is Ardern's fault for the cost blowout and all of this sort of thing. Here's a question that I want to pose to you guys. National started this hospital rebuild, and one of the things that they investigated first, like I'm fun at parties, I pay attention to this shit, right? So when we were going to start building a hospital, one of the things that they looked at was retrofitting and doing up the current hospital that was built in the 1960s. Now, if you turn your brain on for half a second, you realize that trying to rebuild a hospital while it's still being a hospital would be a pain in the ass. It would be disruptive and it would work out to be as expensive as building a new hospital. So they ruled that out really quickly. And they go, right, we have to build a new hospital in Dunedin. Next step, where do we want it? Do we want it on the flat in the CBD next to the university where we get our trainee doctors and nurses from? That sounds pretty good, right? All the transport links are there. Or do we want it way up in the hill suburbs where we get snow at Walkery, which is also an old hospital that we'll need to knock down? And they ruled that out because ambulances don't like going up snowy hills. So it was on the flat. And that's when Cadbury's pulled out and we've got a whole big clear site. This is what you said, Rachel, about Nicholas saying that it's contaminated. That is the first time I have ever heard that. You think that that would come up before now?
Well, the thing is that the report doesn't talk about it because it's already been dealt with. There was some contamination in the land and it was dealt with. And there was some issues with it being low lying and it needed to be strengthened. And it was strengthened with some of the rubble, I think, from the old Cadbury's building as well. So all of those issues have been dealt with, which is why you now have that picture of the piles coming out of the ground ready for a vertical build to go.
It's ready to go.
So hang on a sec. If there's national voters watching, I'm very sorry you found us by accident. But now that you're here, welcome. Here's my question to you. Do you think your leader, Christopher Luxon, the Prime Minister of this country, the leader of the party you're sticking up for, should be believed? Should also stand by what he said? Now, all we do in this show is we hold this government accountable to the standard they expected of the last government. So if they had a problem with the last government doing something, we will hold them to at least that standard. And the standard they fucking set for themselves. I've already played the audio where Luxon said, world-class hospital, Ferrari hospital, coming your way. So I'm sorry, national voters, you don't get to blame Jacinda or any other incarnation of the Dame. What you get to do is go, this person made this promise, we're holding them to that promise. And that's the end of the conversation. Sorry, Joe, you're going to say something.
I was pretty much going to say exactly that same thing. If you are a national voter, if you are a national supporter, if you are a national cheerleader, then why are you not taking the statements from earlier this year from Shane Retty, the statements from earlier from this year from Luxon? Why are you not taking Luxon's words from the election, which we played earlier in the show? That's unequivocal. That's a fucking promise that he told Dunedinites, people in the South, this hospital's going to happen, right? He campaigned on that. People voted for that. If you were that person that voted for National because this region needs a new hospital, would you not be furious? Or is this something that you can justify your guy lying to a huge chunk of the country because you don't like Jacinda Ardern? Because that's fine. Like, don't come to this argument like you have the facts or you've looked at the numbers and you agree with the government. You're taking it from a position of rationality. You aren't. You're a fanboy. And I'm sorry, this is not the conversation for you. We call it how we see it. And if this, like, there are criticisms of National and there are criticisms of Labour. we're quite happy to criticise them where they get it wrong. We're quite happy to lash our team when they get it wrong. But in this case, as a national supporter, you should be pissed off that your guys lied, flat out lied, and are bad at numbers, and your leader's bad at politics, and God help him the next time he comes down this way. God help him.
We'll let you have a go soon, Rachel, we promise. But I've just realised one thing as we were sitting here. What these trolls and national sycophants are doing is they're basically holding Jacinda to her words, but not Luxon. That's what they're doing. They're saying, but Jacinda said, yeah, cool. Now, that's okay. And we can find criticism there. So you want to hold Labour or Jacinda accountable for what she said. We're just saying, fair enough. We want to hold Luxon accountable for what he said.